So, hello and welcome. My name is Shannon. My pronouns are they, them. And I'm really glad that you're here tonight. Tonight, we have a Yoga Nidra practice for deep rest. So, if you're not familiar with Yoga Nidra, it's yogic sleep. It is a type of meditation that is supposed to kind of lead us into almost a sleep like state. So it's a little different than your typical meditation in that there's some spaces in the middle with little to no talking. We'll be kind of shifting from thinking about areas of the body to visualizations. And if there's anything that comes up that makes you feel uncomfortable, feel free to disregard and rest during those periods. But it's not anything too intense. The visualizations will be nature based. So we can kind of visualize what works best for us. There'll be some visualizations around water and breath, just so that you're aware. But if we are going to be practicing in a chair today, one of our comfortable positions might be feet on the ground or resting on like an ottoman in front of us, and we can recline back. If we like, we can take a rolled blanket and place that around the neck as we recline back so that we have that support and we feel comfortable. We can have the blanket longer, kind of tucked under our arms if we want something to rest our arms on as well. If we're on the mat, we can come into Shavasana, which would be lying, or corpse pose, lying on the mat with maybe a bolster or pillow beneath the knees. We can take one of our blankets or a pillow and fold that and place that under the head. We can also use the blanket kind of on top of the head and over the eyes. That can help us relax quite a bit as well. And of course, if you have an eye pillow, feel free to use that instead. If we like and we aren't comfortably reclined, we can make this kind of ramp out of our blocks and bolster. So as you can see here, I have one on a high position, one on a low position, and I rest my bolster against that. Your bum goes on the ground, your back against the back of the bolster. And then you can have a rolled blanket or pillow under the knees as well. So, from wherever we are most comfortable, we'll spend a few moments to ground and also to kind of check in with the breath. So we can be in our reclined position or we can be seated and come into that after our breath work, whatever feels comfortable. And again, if we like, we can have our eye pillow over the eyes. But I'm going to start by finding a comfortable position. And again, this might be our final position or an interim position, whatever feels best. And I'm going to take a moment to notice the space around us. Notice if there are people coming in and out of the space, if there are sounds that are around. We also might notice what's coming in from outside. So I live in the city, so you might hear cars, honking, people yelling, loud music through your speakers. But take note of what's in your space as well, because as we're relaxing, we want to be able to kind of name the sounds that come up, just so they're not surprising to us. And after we've done that, if we like, we might close the eyes or find a soft gaze. And we might take a moment to check in with the body. So noticing sensation through the body, noticing if there's anywhere that we need to adjust to make a little bit more comfortable. Any way we can sit to feel a little bit more cozy. we also might notice if there are any areas that we need to be particularly careful with today or cautious with today. And then once we've made note of those areas, we'll keep that in mind so we can be as kind to ourselves as possible today. And we might notice the objects that our body is resting against. And just allow those objects to take the weight of the body so that we can release the muscles. We don't have to do the work of holding ourselves up. We can relax, we can let go. And then we might bring our awareness to the breath. We might notice our inhale and exhale. You might notice if it's fast or slow or somewhere in between, remembering that there are no right or wrong answers. We're noticing what is. We might notice if we're breathing more into the heart space or the belly. We might notice where else in the body we feel the breath. Maybe we feel it at the back of the throat today. Maybe we feel it in the shoulders. Maybe we feel on our inhale ourselves pressing against the object that we're resting against. Maybe we feel all these things. Maybe we feel none of these things. Again, there are no right or wrong answers. There's only noticing what is in this moment. Now for our meditation tonight, there's no particular way that we have to breathe. But we can talk about a few different ways that we can breathe that might be helpful. For a lot of folks, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth can be helpful. That can help us move into the more restorative mindset. It can also help our bodies move into our parasympathetic nervous response. If we prefer to breathe in and out through the nose, we can do that as well. It might be helpful to pull the breath down into the diaphragm or into the belly to make sure that we're taking nice full breaths. And for those of us who are in larger bodies or who are in a marginalized body, we might notice that we don't breathe deeply a lot. We kind of live up here. So we can cue our body that we're somewhere that we can relax, somewhere we can be comfortable by pulling the breath down into the diaphragm. Letting ourselves take those nice, big, full breaths. Something else we can do is we can extend the exhale. So as we inhale, and we exhale for just a little bit longer than we inhaled for. So these are all things that can help us move into that restful state. And you can choose any of them or none of them, However you want to breathe, however it feels good for you to breathe is valid. But I just wanted to give you some options. So we'll move into our Yoga Nidra practice. So if we are not in our comfortable state, we might want to transition into that now. Anything that feels comfortable. And it's quite a long meditation, so I'll be reading the meditation that I wrote. So a few things to note about our meditation today. We will be touching on bringing our attention to different parts of the body, and we don't have to do anything particularly special for that other than just kind of bring our mind to that space when it's mentioned. Yoga Nidra, as I mentioned earlier, is a little different in that there'll be some spaces in the middle where there's no talking. There might be kind of periods where we switch from looking at the body to visualization, playing with concepts like heaviness and lightness. And again, if any of that doesn't feel like something that we're interested in the moment, we can disregard and kind of do our own thing for a moment and then come back when you do feel comfortable. So just something to keep in mind. So if we have our pillow or our blanket, we can place that over the eyes if we're comfortable with that. We can also keep our eyes open the entire time if we're comfortable with that. We just want to find a soft gaze. Beautiful. So hopefully we've all had a moment to find our position. We'll allow ourselves to settle, arriving in whatever shape we chose that invites ease, where we feel supported, unburdened, comfortable. Again, we can be lying on our back, on our side. We can be propped up on pillows or on our bolster. We can be in bed, reclined in a chair. Wherever we are, we'll give ourselves permission to rest. And we might take a moment to feel the weight of our body, supported by the ground, the furniture, the earth, held by something larger than us. We let ourselves be held. If we like, we can welcome a gentle intention or sankalpa, a quiet whisper. It can be something like, I allow myself to rest, or I am already enough. This moment is for me. There's no need to force it. If something comes to mind, wonderful. If not, that's okay too. We can return to these words, or we can return to our breath whenever we feel like we need grounding. We might begin to gently move our awareness through the body, noticing without effort and without needing to change anything. We might bring our awareness to our right thumb, our right index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, maybe the palm of the right hand, the back of the hand, the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, the upper arm, the shoulder, Maybe moving to the left. Moving to our left thumb, our left index finger, left middle finger, ring finger, little finger. The palm of the right hand, of the left hand, the back of the hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, little finger, upper arm, shoulder. We might move to the right side of the chest, the waist, the hip, the right thigh, knee, calf, ankle, heel, the sole of the foot, the top of the foot, the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe. Moving to the left side of the heart space, the waist, the left hip, left thigh, knee, calf, heel, the sole of the foot, the top of the left foot, the left big toe, left first toe, second toe, third toe, the pinky, noticing the back of the head, the neck, shoulder blades, spine, the back of the right leg, the back of the left leg, the backs of both arms, the whole back body, the face, the jaw, cheeks, ears, temples, the eyes, the eyelids, the eyebrows, the space between the brows, the forehead, the crown of the head, the entire body resting, held by gravity, held by the earth. Now we'll bring awareness to the breath. No need to deepen it or change it. We're noticing. We might feel the breath like a tide, rising and falling. Breath flows in like the shoreline drawing close, and breath flows out like the tide retreating to the sea. we rest in the rhythm. The natural inhale and exhale, like waves smoothing the edge of the sand. If it feels comfortable, we might also imagine the breath as a soft mist, cool on the inhale, warm on the exhale. A quiet rhythm the body already knows. We follow the breath like a breeze through tall grass. Like clouds drifting across an open sky. We welcome the sensation of heaviness, the body full of gravity, sinking into support, each limb resting heavily, each breath drawing us deeper into stillness. Now we welcome a sense of lightness, the body spacious, almost weightless, as if floating into a warm lake or held by the wind. Heaviness and lightness, alternating and balancing, like day and night, hot and cold, earth and sky. And now we can shift into gentle imagery. There's no right or wrong way to visualize it. Just let the words wash over us. And if we can, we might imagine ourselves in a quiet forest clearing. The earth beneath us is soft with moss. The sun filters gently through the leaves above. We feel the breeze on our skin, cool, soft, and fragrant. In each inhale, we might recall the scent of pine, soil, soft grass. Each inhale is a release, melting tension into the forest floor. A stream runs nearby. The sound of water tinkling, babbling. soothing the nervous system. Our body and breath begin to mirror the stream. Steady, fluid, natural. Somewhere in the distance, birds call to one another, and the wind moves through the branches. We feel ourselves not separate from this place, but part of it. We belong here. Just like the trees need stillness to root, and the rivers need pause to pool, we too are allowed to rest. And in this space, we are resting. In this space, we are supported.
We are whole. We are expansive. We are resting. We begin to bring awareness back to our body, to the shape we're in. following the path of the breath in through the nose or mouth, down through the throat, into the heart space, the belly, tracing the path of the exhale, feeling the belly release, the heart space lower, warm breath coming out through the nose or mouth, following this passage of air in and out. No rush. We might release our awareness on the breath and begin to notice the body, noticing the feet, the legs, the hips, the bum, the back, the shoulders, the backs of the arms, the back of the head, noticing all the spaces that we're making contact with the ground, with the mat, with the bed, with the chair. Noticing the sensation, noticing the rise and fall of the body away from the object, away from the mat, the bed. We might notice the sensation of air on the skin, or maybe a blanket against the skin, or the clothing against the skin. We might notice any sounds in this space. We might notice any sounds coming into the space from the rooms around us or from the outdoors. As we inhale, we might let the rest imprint itself on our bones. And as we exhale, we can trust that we can return to this place, this space in our mind, this space where our body rests, anytime that we need. Without any sense of urgency, we can lay here as long as we like. And maybe, if we choose, whenever it feels right, we can begin to move slowly. Maybe wiggling our fingers, wiggling our toes, maybe taking a stretch, movement. Maybe we stretch the left leg and the right arm, the right leg and the left arm. Maybe we yawn. If we're reclined, maybe we gently begin to roll onto the right or left side. Again, only if we choose. We can also stay where we are. And whenever we feel ready, if we like, we can sit up, we can stay where we are reclined. Maybe we bring our hands to the heart or rest them gently against the body wherever feels comfortable. And we can carry this rest with us, like a seed tucked under the soil, like a memory. We are here. We have rested. We can continue to rest. And if we like, we can take 3 soft breaths in whatever way feels comfortable for us. We might take a moment to thank ourselves for making this space for ourselves, this space for rest. And I'd like to thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today.